For the first time in a long time, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to build a budget TKL keyboard. Quick heads up until this point I've only messed around with GK61s. Wanted to try something different, so any and all feedback is welcome. That being said, the kit used in today's video is the Mary Glare 80% keyboard kit. Got it off Amazon for, I want to say, like 40 pounds, 45 pounds, something like that. It's basically a knockoff GK87. Comes with the keyboard case, comes with the PCB, and that's it. Doesn't even include a USB, so if you're thinking about building something similar, just get yourself a GK87. The switches I decided to use are some Gateron black switches. I know most people forever rave on about the Gateron yellows, but I'm gonna be honest with you, for somebody with thick fingers, the Gateron yellows are way too light. I keep accidentally activating switches, so that's why we went with the Gateron blacks. Lubed with Krytox 205 grade 0, and I did the springs with Krytox GPL 105. I want to say it's 105. It's basically the one everybody uses. I filled up the case with some sound dampening material, put some foam in there. Might have messed around with some PE foam too that the keyboard came in, but we'll get into all that later, alright? For now, let's listen to this thing right out of the box, alright? Sounds horrible, right? Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, initially I didn't know how to open up this case, so the first thing I decided to do was mod the stabilizers. Long story short, I took out the stock stabilizers. I couldn't be bothered trying to fix them. Got some genuine cherry stabilizers instead. Wholly modded them, which I've done like twice before. Gotta say, pain in the ass, but so worth it. And then lubed everything with Krytox 205 grade 0. And you know what? I think it turned out pretty well. Next up came the fun part, which was figuring out how to open the case, and then after that, of course, modding the case. Watched a couple of videos online and learned that, what a surprise, it's exactly the same as the GK87. So basically, there's a screw at the bottom you have to undo, just one. And then after that, you basically have to pry it open. The top of the case and bottom of the case are basically held together by these plastic pins, right? So I had a little look around for a cart that I could fit through. Unfortunately, couldn't find one, so I had to use a flathead screwdriver instead. Might have scratched the bottom a little bit, but I figured we just wouldn't mention it. I mean, it's not like anyone's gonna see it, right? So it doesn't matter too much, but I mean, if you can find a card that'll actually fit, I would definitely recommend using that. Anyway, after finally managing to pry this thing open, I was presented with quite the ugly duckling of a keyboard. Even the PCB is green. It's just not very pleasant to look at. In any case, I took out the PCB, managed to undo it, and was then presented with a bottom case that kind of reminded me of the GK61. A lot of little plastic walls that make filling up the case a bit of an arts and crafts project. Anyway, the first thing I did was fill up the bottom of the case with Noiko 80mm sound deadener. A couple of months ago, I tried to recreate Keyboard's GK61 build, so I still had a ton of this lying around. Figured it couldn't hurt, so I put that in there first. After that, I also added a layer of neoprene foam. I'm not sure if it's neoprene or neoprene. Either way, I'm sure you can find it on Amazon. I also had this left over from my GK61 build. And after that, I figured I would try a PE foam mod. You know, the latest craze in the keyboard community. Make it sound like the Jelly Epoch, but like a budget version of it. And I figured out that the plate isn't actually stuck to the PCB with screws, but instead it's held together with these little aluminium pins. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, I have no clue what it's called. It screams budget. And I basically had to bend those things to take off the plate. Figured I would show it off instead of trying to explain it. And then I used the PE foam the keyboard came in. Obviously cut out holes for the stabilizers and whatnot. And I want to say that's it. Now, before we get into the sound test, first up, do me a quick favor, people. drop a like in the video, subscribe if you're new, turn on those post notifications. Like I said at the start of the video, I've never tried uploading something like this before, so, you know, any and all feedback is very much appreciated. That being said, enjoy.